share with you like where my head's been at with all this stuff. The two big problems I see with the live streaming that people have going on is, number one, they're struggling to get people to watch their lives, and number two, they're struggling with what happens after these lives to actually turn it into a sustainable thing.
Mitch, thank you so much for joining us on Magicians Talking Magic. To me, I see you as almost a business mentor or advisor through Facebook and online. You've actually changed my whole business model completely on the back end. I used to be messy with papers, and now I'm completely paperless, very well organized. I've even gone to the steps of going to my local business resource center to apply for local grants and really take the steps to make my entertainment business proper. Can you tell us a little bit about your background before we dive into the Party Business Think Tank?
Absolutely. So let's start with this big disclaimer. I am not a magician. If any of you saw me try to do a magic trick, you would not be impressed with what I'm capable of. But I have been in the world of entertainment businesses for now it's over 20 years, over 17 of those years running my own business. So what I did was I was in the children's entertainment space, and we did hands-on activities, and we started with, there's just, me with plastic bags full of stuff. And we grew it over the years to having multiple locations. We had over 75 staff out there delivering our service, doing over 3,000 events a year. So that's sort of where I come from. But what I fell in love with, what I started, where my passion started was the events and the performance and all that. What I ended up falling in love with was running a business. And I never thought that would be my reality, but that is what I ultimately fell in love with. And today that's kind of what I focus my attention on is like you were saying, is helping people who have this passion for this service they're doing, this thing that they're doing, and getting a little bit more organized and streamlined in their business, a bit more strategic and things like that. I don't even know, in a roundabout way, I hope I've answered the question.
I think so. Yeah. You give us a good insight to your background, who you are, why we can trust you. As all of us can trust you as a business mentor, giving us tons of advice, so much free information all the time in your incredible blog posts and everything. I just downloaded your website template because I'm currently restructuring my website for virtual services, right? We're in a new time.
Yeah.
Now you've taken all your experience and you are now offering like the business back end to us creatives, us entertainers that struggle with business mentality. And you have an incredible Facebook group that offers, you consider us party animals.
Yes, that's
all
right.
Kinds of information. Yeah.
So the history to that, it was basically, I was thinking back, it was a couple of years ago. I actually was just on Facebook and was chatting with people, started writing a few posts with some suggestions, and I kind of got like the helping bug. I got really excited about the feedback I was getting from people. So then I decided, okay, well, I'll start a new Facebook group. And I was thinking back to when I started my business, and I remember the struggles I had. I had, my friends and family who just didn't get it, who would talk to me and say things like, one day you'll get a real job. And they wouldn't take what I was doing seriously because I was playing games for a living, which I understand where they're coming from, but they didn't understand that I was actually running a real business, and it was a struggle. And I always felt like I had no one to turn to who actually got it, who like understood that, yes, I have fun and I put on a smile for a living, but behind the scenes, I was, stressed, and I had real pressures and financial struggles, and all that stuff was really happening. So when I started the Facebook group, I said, like, wouldn't it be awesome if there was a place for people who are also dealing with friends and family telling them one day you need to get a real job, where they could sort of congregate, chat with each other, talk about business best practices, operational strategies, sales strategies, marketing strategies. And that's when we started the Party Business Think Tank. So, we had a milestone just the other day. Actually, we just passed 2,000 members in the group.
Amazing.
It's awesome. Yeah. The party animals in there are there every day sharing ideas and tips and tricks. And I myself I'm in there sharing strategies and tips and tricks as well.
Now, I found a ton of value in the Facebook group.
Awesome.
I think mainly because it's not just magicians. There are more than just magicians in the group as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. So our focus, it is the Party Business Think Tank. So our focus are people who are in the party business. It is mostly children's entertainers. We do have some that focus on more adult oriented partying as well, but it is mostly children's entertainers. So we have magicians and jugglers and clowns and face painters and character entertainers, people like myself who were doing hands-on physical activities, scientists, I mean, you name it. Every type of children's entertainment, we have people in there that are doing that, which has been interesting too, because, for example, magicians, I see a lot of magicians are learning from each other, which is the smart thing to do, but they're leveraging the same strategies. It's hard to stand out when everybody's doing the same thing. But when you see, that industry is doing this, and I could totally pull that into my world. Then all of a sudden you start getting these really creative opportunities where you're thinking outside the box.
Yeah, one unique thing that I actually see in the magic world is we're all struggling emotionally and artistically with live streams. Like, do we offer our shows for live?
Yeah.
Are we giving away the farm? But then in the party business think tank, there's a completely different mentality. I didn't see that was a group of people that jumped on the live stream so fast.
Yeah.
But there are also technical hurdles in this as well. And you are starting to put together something. You have
Yeah.
kind of two services that help with live streams for families on a global
Yeah.
scale.
So, okay. So first of all, I'll just say I'm a parent with 2 young kids. So I am the demographic that the audience that I work with tends to want to try to appeal to. And I could tell you in my world, I have an 8-year-old, I have a 5-year-old, and they are home all the time. Like the fact that right now you don't hear any noise in the background is a miracle. It's because my wife has taken them out of the house. But it's a struggle right now for parents out there. They're trying to work. They're trying to keep their kids engaged, keep their kids happy, feel some normalcy, learning, all this stuff. But the kids are at home and it's really difficult. So a lot of people jumped on the whole live stream thing as a way to sort of give back to their communities, which is a really great thing to be doing right now. A great way to position you and your brand as somebody who's really compassionate to their needs and you get them and all that. There is this challenge right now is like, should I do it? Should I not? Can I keep the quality there? Is it going to hurt my brand in the long run? I say if you do it properly, actually, it's going to benefit you in the long run. And those people who are doing it well are going to come out of this whole thing stronger than ever before. But the 2 things I see people really struggling with, aside from the tech stuff, I leave that to you. You have the expertise on that one. But aside from the whole tech stuff of like the cameras and the angles and the sound quality, the 2 things I see people are really struggling with is, number one is actually getting people to watch their live streams. So it's not fun to do a live stream if only 1 or 2 people show up, right? And especially, I know magicians, like when I go take my son is a big magic enthusiast. So we take him to local shows. And I could see it's all about that interaction and feeding off the crowd, right? So getting people to show up is the first major challenge I see people struggling with. And the second one actually that I see as an even bigger problem is even if you had 1,000 people show up to your live stream, is doing this without a plan for how this will help you in the long term, right? How do you get people who are watching your live stream and turn them into paying clients? Maybe not today, but in a month from now, in 2 months from now, in a week from now, in a year from now. Like, how are you going to take those viewers and turn them into paying clients? And so we've actually, there's solutions to all of this, but we've been working on some projects to try and help our community as well. So for example, like in terms of getting more viewers, I have, it's a free project, volunteering my time with my partner. It's a timetable for parents. I was thinking about what are my needs as a parent. And my biggest need was the information is everywhere. And I can't start following 1,000 different entertainers to try and pick and choose what's good. So we have consolidated all this information to a simple timetable, and it's free to throw your events on there. So if you are interested, just to give it a little plug here, it's kidsathome.fun. That's where you would go. You'll see the live timetable there, and there's an add your event button. Totally free. And this is a worldwide project. So now you could start attracting an audience literally around the entire globe. And we'll localize the times to the viewer so they know what time to check you out, and a link right over to your live stream, and you can do that.
And it's a really great service too, because I know magicians never think of this, but I see a lot of kids entertainers that if you work in numbers, it's more beneficial to everybody. So if you have that calendar, I know some magicians might see like, ooh, I might be competing with someone else.
Yeah.
However, if someone tunes into that calendar, they're more likely to check out a lot of those shows. Because they go, oh, this is actually fairly interesting, and I can schedule out my day with the cool calendar.
One of the things somebody actually said to me was, well, if I'm on this calendar, let's say it's a magician, if I'm on this calendar and other magicians are on this calendar, am I not just helping them find those magicians? And I'll tell you, as a parent, I'm not looking for 50 different magic shows. I am looking for 50 different things to do today just to fill the day. And then tomorrow it all resets, right? And what we do on this calendar is actually we'll supply you with a special link that features your listing. So it actually blocks out all the other listings in your time slot. So when you share that link, parents actually see your listing as a main feature of your time slot and other options in the other times of the day, but they don't even see what else is happening at the same time as you.
That's incredible.
Yeah, we've tried to make sure that it makes it so it's easy for you to promote your service. And that's what we're trying to do.
Now, are you willing to tease up kind of what you're working on in the background a little bit for performers as well?
Yeah, so there's two things now that on the other end of it is operating with a plan. So I see a lot of people, they're really into the vanity metric, like, yay, I had 100 people watching my live stream. But that does nothing for you if you don't know who those 100 people were and how to stay in touch with them. It literally does nothing for you. So this is a little teaser because it is coming soon, but we are working on something where it will be a very simple to use platform where literally in a few clicks, you're going to add your event. It'll create like a little mini website for your event that you could promote that is only your event. And then that little mini website is actually going to be how you get people to register for your free lives. So even if you're hosting it on, let's say, Facebook or YouTube, or anybody who has the link could tune in, they don't know that yet. So why not capture their information, get them signing up, get their contact info, and automatically we're going to automate the whole process where you could stay in touch with those people in the long term and then start selling them on your paid services as well. So that is a really exciting project we have coming soon. So if you want more on that, you got to reach out to me actually. So can I verbally say my email address? Is that the best?
Yeah,
way
I'll
to
put
do
it in
this?
anyhow, but yeah.
Yeah, so I guess just email me. It's me@mitchzeltzer.com. All right, so you'll spell it out for people because that's a name with two Z's or two Z's depending on where you're located.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, just email me and I'll get you more details on that and how you can sort of sign up for as like sort of getting on the wait list. But that's a really exciting thing. And the other thing I just wanted to say on this one was the other thing that occurred to us that people aren't doing effectively right now is they're constantly creating new content, but you could actually turn your live streams into evergreen content. And what I mean by that is this is now something that's going to be good for you forever, and you could keep reusing the same live stream. So again, why not capture people's contact info and let them watch the replay of the show that you've already recorded? Not everybody saw it, only those 100 people saw it, but there's thousands of people that could see it. You don't have to do the work over and over and over again. Just get them signing up for the same show you've already done, right? And capture those leads. That's the big thing. You could come up with your own way of doing it, and that's fine. This is just a way to simplify that, but do it. Like, capture those leads. That is the most important thing you need to be doing right now.
I think it's a great solution because it's like a turnkey solution. So us as entertainers can focus on developing a unique live stream so we can stand out from the other performers if that is a concern that we have, right?
And I have no advice on how to make a great magic show online.
Sure.
But because I can't do it. But yeah, that is the big thing. Is just get yourself set up in a way where you're capturing the information so you can stay in touch with people.
As a parent, you are watching live streams, you're tuning into activities. Yeah. What stands out to you? What do you find stands out, or what do you think is special and unique in some of the, I don't know if you're watching live streams even?
Yeah, we are. Okay, I love this question, and I'll share some stories with you. So we, as a family, and I don't want to knock other performers out there, but we've tuned into a lot of stuff as a family. And there have been very clear differences between the ones that my kids had really enjoyed. And as a parent, I was guilt-free about letting them watch and sit in front of the screen, because that's another thing parents are sort of grappling with right now, is we don't want to plop our kids down in front of the screen all day. So you have to help me justify it, right? So we saw a magician, a local magician. He did a phenomenal job, actually, a real phenomenal job. And I saw he had almost, I think it was like 5,000 viewers on it for one of the shows. It was wild. He did a really great job. But because he did such a great job, he kept doing them every week. And the audience just grew and grew and grew and grew. But what made it so great was it was interactive, as though they were sitting as a live audience. So he was doing the stuff where he was asking them to throw things at him and he'd react, right? He was doing all of that. He said to the kids, like, I know you're celebrating your birthday today, so happy birthday. He didn't even say any names, but my daughter, who happened to be celebrating her birthday, was like, he knows it's my birthday, right? That interactive piece, if I'm going to watch something live, I need the interactive piece as a parent, right? Otherwise, I'm heading over to YouTube, I'm finding a highly produced thing that's actually going to be better than your live stream and more engaging because it's been designed for that purpose. So if you're going live, the big thing about live is that it is live, right? So leverage that, because that's what people can't get on their own on YouTube right now, right? So that'd be my big advice. We attended, contrasting that with another one. There was a local fitness center, and they were doing family Zumba. So for those who don't know, Zumba is like a dancing exercise thing. So we were like, all right, we'll give it a shot. The whole family gathered in the family room. We got the live stream going. The sound quality was terrible. So this is speaking to one of the insecurities I know you mentioned earlier. The sound quality was terrible, but honestly, we would have battled through that. but we were literally just watching somebody doing this aerobics class with terrible sound quality. That's all it was. So again, we shut it down. We headed over to YouTube where there was a highly produced Zumba class, and we were much happier. So if the interactive piece isn't there, then I'm going to go and find something that's probably been produced a little bit better than your live stream will be. And I think that that's a really important piece.
That's incredible insight to give all of us when we were thinking about our live streams. Because actually, I haven't done a live stream yet, but I did do an edited show because it played better.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Exactly. So know your audience, know what you're capable of within your show as well, and then go with the format that works best for you. But it could be pre-recorded, and again, if it's pre-recorded, capture the leads for that. So whatever you're going with, you know, even if you're going to put it on Facebook or YouTube, it's going to premiere, right? So that's still a live event. It's just pre-recorded, right?
Yeah. Are you willing to share the magician's name? Because we are here a magician community and we'd love to support all these people.
Absolutely. So I'm in Toronto, Canada, and it was Wonderful.
Oh, Wonderful. Absolutely. He's the best.
He was phenomenal. And I'll give him kudos too, because he did a great job of, you know, he didn't have a way of capturing our leads up front. But what he was smart about was in his show, he incorporated ways to motivate us to give him our information. So he had contests and things like that. And so the kids were participating and downloading things from his website. And I'm sure once we went to his website, he's going to retarget us in ads and all that stuff, right? So if your funnel is set up properly, you're going to have a really easy time staying in touch with those people who tuned in. And that's the big thing. But he did a phenomenal job. So if you're watching, Phil, I give you 2 thumbs up. It was amazing.
And Phil is a great example from everything from branding, running a business, and the kids' entertainment. He's like a total pro. I know Phil too from Toronto. Yeah. Incredible.
And again, like it didn't, you know, using him as an example, but we've turned into a few of these now. It didn't have to be like a perfectly polished production, right? He had a great backdrop. The camera quality was good. It was very good. But he didn't pretend like this was like something he does every day. So we got a little bit of authenticity there where it was like, all right, well, hopefully this is working. And like, then he like sort of turned the camera around when he went and sat down at his computer to respond to some of the chat messages. And all of a sudden it went from like looking like he was in a studio to clearly he's in his basement. And it was kind of great to see that, like just that authentic piece that you get to add in these live streams, I think is really important.
That is a lot of hidden gem information that you snuck all through. It was
great. He did a really great job. He was actually, of all the streams we've tuned into, he's been he's sort of at the top of that list right now.
I watched
For me as a parent, like I say, it's like there's guilt to plopping my kids in front. It's not this for everyone, and I'm not saying it should be like that parents should be feeling guilty, but I know for me, I'm contrasting it to what I know their day typically is like when they're at school, right? And they're outside and they're running around, they're going to gym, and I can't provide all that in our quarantine state because I live in Toronto, and so I have a small yard and I have a small house, and like, you know, you gotta find a way to keep them active, but I have work to do too, and so does my wife. So it's like finding ways to keep them engaged without that guilt of them just sitting and watching Disney Plus all day.
Are you doing downloadable activities from? So
we have made a decision as a family that we're okay with the screen time, but we're kind of going back to old school as well. So my 5-year-old learned how to ride her bike. Amazing, right?
Oh, cool.
Like it's stuff like that. We're just we're playing in the dirt in the garden, and we're trying to take advantage of this time together that we never thought we would have. And it's been awesome. And then at the same time, I don't know if this won't make it into the thing, but my son is learning how to do programming. He's 8. I'm teaching him how to do JavaScript coding. Like, why not? Right. So
that's so cool.
So we're kind of trying to take on the technology and embrace that, but at the same time, get back to like what kids should be doing is like making a mess and falling down and taking risks and doing all that stuff.
We are all experiencing this roller coaster of emotions right now. You know, there's days of complete dread, and then there's days of positivity and things. Yeah. I've tuned into a lot of the party business think tanks, and you seem to always have a great positive message for all performer entertainers, because we struggle. Like, should we stream? Should we continue our business? What are we doing? Can you send us out on a message to all entertainers, all performers, of what we can focus in on right now?
Yeah, okay. So I don't know if it's the best answer or not, but honestly, my big advice is you don't need to just jump into things because you see other people jumping into things. Take a second. It's also okay for yourself and for your mental health and for your business's sake to take a break If you need to take a couple of days, a couple of weeks, you decide what works for you in your business. But whatever you decide to do next, and I'm trying to take this advice myself as well, whatever you decide to do next, make sure you're doing it with a plan, with a strategy. Have an action plan in place and know that it's going to be something that helps you in the long term, right? Entertainment isn't an industry that's disappearing. It's not going away. So we all want to be here to weather the storm. We have to do stuff right now, and I get that. But whatever you're doing now, make it something that's building something, an asset that you're going to have access to use and leverage for the long term. And the opportunities are out there, and it just takes a little bit of creativity and brainstorming with others and leveraging what other people are doing and finding ways to sort of make that your own. So I think it's a great opportunity right now that most of us, when we're in this rat race, we don't have the opportunity to do it. It is a great time to actually stop and think. Like, just think, let it simmer for a bit, and whatever decision you make sure it's something that you believe has legs for the long term.
Mitch, this has been incredible information. As a party animal for all party animals, thank you so much for doing Magicians Talking Magic today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.